Hey everybody, KC here. So it was interesting this week to see a story in the Associated Press about how, according to the Record Industry Association of America, vinyl album sales were actually up 29% in 2020, reaching $626 million. Now, there are a couple of interesting things about this. First of all, it's in some ways not surprising because we know vinyl has been gaining popularity, and this was a year in which so many of us spent more time at home that, I'm sure there were a lot of people saying, I really want to improve my sound system. But the other interesting thing about it is that vinyl album sales have now outpaced the sales of CDs. Man, it just doesn't seem like that long ago that CDs were, this is great. And so many of us got rid of our vinyl albums because now we had CDs and we could stack them up and we could put 10 of them in the CD player and it would just keep playing music. And well, that's history, right? It's unbelievable. When was the last time you bought a CD? I mean, I went back on Amazon to check, assuming that that's probably where I bought my last CD. And it was 2016. I was curious, and so I checked, and it's almost been as long since I bought a DVD. The fact of the matter is, and this is a great lesson for anybody in business, is technology has completely changed the way that we consume media. Now we stream things. We don't need the physical product anymore. And the fact of the matter is, listen, food is different, but technology is changing the way that we buy the food that we consume. And while it's not quite to the point where streaming music and streaming movies are, it is going to continue to accelerate, and retailers have to be aware of that and build systems and build processes and that are going to look forward to that, as opposed to thinking that things are going to go back. But that, of course, doesn't mean that things can't go back, because a food store, a physical food store that has an enormous amount of curb appeal, the mouth appeal that gets you excited, gets you hungry, customers are always going to go back to that, in the same way that customers are now going back to vinyl and moving away from CDs and streaming. I mean, the thing is, I have a 27-year-old daughter. In fact, she's turning 27 today as you watch this. A couple of months ago, she just decided she wanted to invest in a turntable. So she got a turntable and she bought some albums. She's got some Dixie Chicks and she's got some Taylor Swift, and she just loves to crank it up and play it really, really loud. I really like the Dixie Chicks and Taylor Swift too, so it's not really a problem. And the only thing she always has to remember is every 22 minutes or so, she has to go in and flip the album, which is a little different than streaming. And then I have a son in his mid-30s, and one of the things he likes to do is he invests in Blurays, because he argues that the picture and the sound is so much better, it's really worth the investment. Me, I like being able to say to Alexa, hey, play a little Art Pepper, play some jazz musician I've never heard of but read about in a Michael Connelly novel, just because I'm trying to teach myself a little bit. I like being able to go in and go to the Criterion channel or go on Epix or HBO Plus, whatever it is, and find a movie I feel like seeing. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in convenience. But these young people today, well, they're interested in something else. And it just shows you that if you can persuade this next generation customers that a product or an experience has value and in some ways appeals to their values, you can actually make a sale of things that seem like they might be a little, part of history, but are becoming more of the present as well. But you have to do it, right? You have to make that case. You have to persuade them. You can't just expect them to come to you. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.